What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines, the town of Santa Rica, with our Let's Play Season 2, Episode number 8, Take 2, because I did this once in the last season of Let's Plays. Recorded an entire episode, looked down at the timer to see where we were at, and I had forgot to hit record, so I'm doing this one for a second time. I decided not to save and not skip any of the build. Might change some things up as a result. But one of the things that I really wanted to do, I thought would add some nice life to the city, is a university campus build. Now we could do that over here where we already have a university and move some stuff around, but if we look at the coverage, we're a little light down here, but we're definitely light up here where we're moving in the bulk of our population. So I want to do a university campus up here, and I'm thinking this little nook by the highway helps us accomplish a couple different things. One, it gives us a spot for a big university campus. Two, it also gives us an excuse to create a highway exit over here, which will help dump some of the traffic coming from this side of the map into the city off here, just like we did with just this exit only ramp. That helped alleviate some of the pressure on this central exit, which we're still seeing a fair bit of traffic on. So if we can get all the people that are coming off this way off early, let's do the same thing over here and hopefully alleviate, again, some more of that stress on this central exit. So I've got some ideas for how to do this. First thing we want to do is we want to make a little space. We're going to move some people out, because this is going to be a university block. We're just going to de-zone this. And those houses should move out. We'll hit play for a minute. Save myself the time of the bulldozer. We're going to move this park for now down over here. And we're going to get to work on the highway exit. We'll delete those houses after. I don't want to leave this playing too long because I want to do some bulldozing here. That should be good. We'll go one extra segment and we'll leave that one to snap into. Actually, we're not using an exit, so it shouldn't matter. So I want to make sure that these segments are really straight. So I'm going to bring this out to about there before I worry about hooking it back in. We're going to fix all our directions afterwards. But what I want to do is I want to run some road parallel to this. And I mentioned this before. If you use roads instead of highway ramps, like let me show you. If I try and build a highway ramp off here, it automatically wants to curve it. Snap it in kind of funny. If you do a regular road, you can build 9-degree intersections or whatever angle you want. So I want to do a little slip lane here. I want to get it just over that. That should do the trick right there. Do the same thing on this side. We'll come just over. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to extend these down on either side now. So, actually no, I'm going to extend this one. We'll just bring this down way further than we need for now. We can delete some of the extra segments after the fact. But I want to come over the highway with this one first. So we'll go up a segment. Get a nice smooth slope. Even though we've got that little bit of terrain there we could have smoothed out first. I'm going to switch over to my curve tool. Let's see how tight we can make this. We don't want it too tight. We want a little bit of a bend in the road, but we've got some space issues to contend with here, so we'll get just over that hump, that road piece there, and we will switch to our straight and come right back down. The 12 should give us that smooth slope. That's getting off the highway this direction. Getting off the highway from here, pretty straightforward. We can actually just connect this up if we want. That's good enough for me. Now, they won't actually use this lane ultimately, but that is okay. I want to see if I can cram this in here. This one is going to be the tricky part, is can we get enough height We can. Okay, so we're going to go straight to 3 high. We'll go right to there and then see if we can curve this over just the way that we want. That center pillar is going to be a nuisance. But that works. Then let's see, it will let me build straight there, so that's a nice angle. We'll come down from there, because it's a pretty big height, as smooth as we can. So this is going to be a long ramp that runs parallel. Wow, that's really long. We'll do it though, because we don't have that space zoned off over there. It's fine. Gives us a nice, smooth slope. And let's connect these highways back up. We'll just do the slightest little bend. About the halfway point to kind of keep things flowing. And let's go back to our regular roads and we'll curve this in. That looks like a pretty nice curve there. I can deal with that. Not too sharp. Good enough. And then we'll connect these last two up at the end, and then we're going to upgrade and check our directions. Now this is a tricky piece right here because it doesn't want to snap this on-ramp anywhere but... Let me show you. So that piece is super finicky, unfortunately. Much easier on the PC. And we could play around with some things if we wanted to a little bit longer, but I want to get going on the rest of the build. So we're going to do that just to connect those up and then upgrade these back to highway and hope that worked out nice, that the pillars still line up. The problem with these is that it doesn't like to snap anywhere but at this perfect little point where the cable uprights are at that minimum height. So again, you can change the roads and upgrade them after the fact, and that will usually do the trick. Let's break out our upgrade tool first. We're on the highway off ramps now. We'll upgrade all these. Be careful coming through here so I don't upgrade the road down below. That looks okay. We'll do this way. Then we need one more on-ramp, and then we'll connect it into our road system. Okay, directions. So coming this way, we messed up our highway. That should be all connected correctly. Off-ramp wise, that is backwards. Rest of that is okay. Then some of this is backwards as well. We basically built the T intersection that kind of most cities start on. What did I miss over here? Except we've given them a little bit longer of a lane here to get onto the highway. It was not so fun snapping into the bridge. That's a pretty sharp angle that we can correct later, or I've said it before, I'll say it again, move it on the PC is a fantastic mod. Speaking of mods, someone mentioned in the comments one that I absolutely 100% will be building into my next PC build. It's called Crossings, and it lets you put crosswalks pretty much anywhere you want. So if you have long roads, such as these, right? I think I built a couple pedestrian cut-throughs on these, but they don't really solve the problem of, you know, if I need to get from this side of the block to that side of the block, you know, walking lengthwise up this block doesn't save me any time. So you can do different crosswalks pretty much anywhere you want. It becomes another road tool. So if you don't want people to have to go all the way down to the end of the street to cross, you could just snap a crosswalk right in the middle. And I used it for just a couple minutes and I absolutely love it. The AI paths to it works great. So check out Crossings, sort by popularity, and it's an awesome little mod. So we've got this highway exit. Let's do a little tiny bit more here. So straight tool will come out just 5 units. Same thing over here, and we'll fix the direction afterwards. That's good enough. What we want to do is I want to have a little road here, right about there. And we're going to curve this into helps if I go on the curve tool. Wasting money. Go from right about there. We have room to curve those together. Then back to our highway for a quick bend. Like that. And like that. Okay, so our highway is all set. We've given people a way to come into the city this way. Now, time for our little university campus. So I'm going to extend this out. I think we were doing 30 units. That'll put an intersection right there, which is okay. We can give the right of way to this street. Get people off the highway and into the city. So we'll just put a stop sign right there. Now, question is, where exactly do we build this? So I'm just going to space this out real quick. Let's do from here. We'll come in 12. Let's see how many units across that is. Okay, that should be good. So hopefully you'll see what I'm thinking here in a minute. So we have this university down here covering this part of the city, great. Not covering so great up here. Now, what we could do, and here's where the capacity problems of some of the green buildings come into play. So you have a cheaper version of the elementary school that covers 300 students. The more expensive green version covers 250. High school, cheaper version, 1,000. More expensive version covers 800, and same thing with university, 75,000 for 4,500 capacity, and 90,000 for 4,000 capacity. So all of these buildings are more expensive. We could drop any of the university buildings in. Just centered good. So we do that and call it a day. University done, coverage down here, you're all set. But that doesn't look like a university campus, and that's what I'm going for here. So we're gonna pull out 2 more university buildings for now. Will that let me get the road up the side? Won't. Okay, let's extend this road up just a little bit. 160. Okay. That lets us do something here where I can get a road in behind now. So if we go back into those university buildings, this is an expensive build that is not necessary. This doesn't help our coverage at all because we still have, when you look at the coverage area, right, we're not helping people all the way on this side. University should stretch over here. If we play it for 1 minute, I think I have to power and water those buildings before. No, okay. So we've got coverage on that half of the city. We're not covering over here still with university, which I think is kind of weird. I guess we can drop another one over here down the road. But we're creating a lot of redundancy here, right? This isn't solving any problems. It's just for the appearance. That's the only reason I'm doing it. What we can do is go in here, turn the building off. In fact, we'll turn off this main campus building, if you will, and leave this one on. Take it back. We'll move the one that's closer to the highway. Not that this should impact traffic in this area a lot, but so that way we don't have to pay the upkeep cost on these. And I just think it kind of looks cool. It looks more like an actual university campus when you have a couple buildings in there. Now there's some other stuff you can do as well. There is a faculty building we could throw in here. Put it right there. That might look kind of cool. If we want to go for like a symmetrical look. Let's get a couple more roads in here first, though. I've got a couple other things that I would like to do. Maybe we could even connect it. I don't want my intersections too close together, but back here on this back road, that shouldn't matter. How's that going to be if we replicate that over there? As long as we go with a stop sign here and not a traffic light, that shouldn't impact anything negatively, because I don't think we're going to have a ton of traffic coming from in there. Now, if we want to make it a little bit more like an actual college campus, we could zone off some of this as residential. I think I'm going to do like trees on this side. So I'm going to zone off these pieces that are interior. We'll do that. And then one building that I do want to have in here, because I think it gives it a decent look, is a little police headquarters. We can cram it in right there. But I think there is better. Now, with this little area in the center, let's find a park we haven't done yet. I like it, I like it. And then, like I said, we could do landscaping now, not parks tab. We could put some trees, you know, along, we'll just spam a couple of them for now. We'll really kind of fill this in a bit more with some of the bigger trees. We could have a little bit of a tree separation on this side of the block. We'll do some pedestrian cut-throughs and things like that, especially around these crosswalks. That might be a good idea. Let's just do that while we've got the tool out anyways. So if people come from, you know, this crosswalk here, let's say, it won't let me do that. It'll let me do that though. Super finicky. Let's curve them. So we'll curve from here. Will it connect? It's not going to connect there, is it? No, I didn't think so. We'll eat into a little bit of our zoning. That's okay to do that. So where was that? That was on that side of the crosswalk. Coming into there. Good enough. So we've got our college campus coming along nicely. Again, these buildings are totally redundant and purely decorative. We're turning them off for now until we need more capacity. We probably won't need that much capacity in this small part of the city unless we really push residential on this side, which we could do. But we have a huge commercial demand right now. But that is a build that I kind of really wanted to get underway. Let's double check our water and power, and then we can hit play, and hopefully some residents will move in before the end of the episode, but we don't have the demand right now, so we'll have to add a university stop to our metro at some point, but that will be probably a little bit later in the series. When we build this out more, we're really going to rethink our metro. We just kind of added some quick stops to get people on and off the highway. Double check our power. And then I've got one more quick build that we should have money for. And somebody had recommended in the comments, I apologize, I don't remember who. There was a couple good suggestions, and one of them I really liked. It was, you know, let's do something with these rotaries. Because they're very bland, they're very dry right now. And I came up with a pretty good idea for it. So let's do that. I probably could have done one-way road here. And we want the direction going the other way. And one-way road straight. We'll just connect this for now so that there's a way to get in here. And here's what I was thinking. You let me know in the comments if this is good or not. Centered. I like it. It does, that rotary eats up a ton of space, and that should be easy enough to get to right off the highway. Gives people incentive to use the left lane, which they don't tend to do too much. You see traffic backs up generally on the outside of the rotary more than that interior lane. We will double check. I think water runs straight underneath there. It does. And let's look at power. Power's spreading just fine. We are good there. I like it. So this was more of an aesthetic episode. Speaking of aesthetics, one thing that I really want to do coming off of the center street is, as we start to define this out more, I want to commit to project. So I'm going to frame this now. We're going to frame it in trees. So this, to be parallel, this is a $5,700 segment of road. This part doesn't need to be trees. Let me double check that again. 4160. So off of this, now we can frame this. Off of this, I'm going to break up this grid by doing a massive central park. I think we're going to go 3 out on either side. Is that going to be too big? Come down 4 and see what that looks like. Go from there. We'll come down here, just so I can frame this. We're going to delete this afterwards. How big is this road? I'm getting thrown off here for some reason. 31 segments? Because of that extra segment that gets eaten up by the 6 lane in the middle, I guess. So I'm thinking something like that. We'll connect this up and redo some of these streets after the fact. We don't want intersections too close together. But I'm thinking of something like that for a Central Park. Central Park in New York is absolutely huge. I mean, it runs for what, 20 blocks at least? Maybe more. Maybe I'm probably way underestimating that. But it is just so huge in the center of the city. And I'm thinking at the very least we want to have a park that large. We might extend it even more, but I don't want to zone in here. I don't want to start building in here to move businesses out after the fact. So at the very least we'll commit that space. Totally useless, waste of road, drilling into our money so bad. Speaking of, let's see. Take, thank you. So a little bit of cash. One more thing we'll do before we go. Let's go into our parks. Tennis court, basketball court. There we go. So Adia mentioned in the comments that we need we should have a basketball court somewhere near the high schools. So let's see where, you know what? No, it's the creative art kids that need it, right? They're the ones. Where are they? They're over here. Is it going to let me build a basketball court on this slope? It will. It might look a little funny, but let's throw our first one in there. Stop standing around, go get some exercise. So we'll throw in some more parks and some decorative things. Let's see. We'll put a house kind of off by itself that has its own private tennis court somewhere at some point. We really need to, in the next episode, start expanding down here. Now I'm gonna box this neighborhood off. Alright, why didn't you just go that one extra click? Okay. And we will fill this in with office, because that's going to answer our... And I could just do this as I'm saying this. It'll be just as easy. So we'll continue this down to here. Let's connect across here, because we don't want to create too many intersections down here for now. Not that there's a lot of traffic, because there's not people connecting through there. Let's see, how close can we get to this park? It won't let me do that, right? So, here? That's okay. We'll zone this off. We'll get some offices moving in. Then, next, we'll build over here and create some commercial space. Hopefully that will increase some residential demand. We've got unemployment problems from me moving out so much of the industry. That did not help us, unfortunately. So that kind of affects and slows city growth. So as we start to stamp out more places for people to work, it'll be more appealing to come and live here. So let's just keep our office theme going. We should check our zoning, or not zoning, but districts real quick too. So that anybody that moves in down here, whoops, on D zone, don't move out. I think I moved somebody out. Either that or they're just moving in. So we'll do that to keep all the skyscrapers and really tall buildings out here. And then we will start to provide some commercial space within this neighborhood, if you will. Carry this down more than we need, and then we'll just connect this across to start to frame things out for next time. And then over here, this can be more residential. Maybe we'll even link that up sideways here. We'll move the sewage treatment plants down and do that coastal road finally underneath the bridges there. But I think that's pretty good for today. Again, I want to keep them relatively bite-sized. But I appreciate everyone that stays tuned. Sometimes when I'm editing these back, I feel a little silly talking to myself playing games, but there's obviously enough of you out there that are enjoying it, and I really appreciate it. So on the next episode, we'll really get going on our city growth and expand out down here, and hopefully we'll get the population climbing back up again. But in the meantime, we've got the start of our university campus. We can decorate that with some parks and some trees and fill that in a little bit. But I really kind of like the look and feel of that. Totally redundant, totally unnecessary, but I think it looks the part. I think it certainly helps fill in that corner of our city and gave us an excuse to have a highway on and off ramp over here. Most of you know the drill at this point. If you enjoyed the video, likes, comments, shares really help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to get notifications, because it's very easy for small channels like mine to get lost in the shuffle. But until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.